Today we bring you a fascinating and spine-chilling story shared by one of our listeners, Azazel, which he heard from his colleague Abdul Karim. This incident reportedly took place around 2012 or 2013 in the village of Taikorgacha, under Bakshiganj police station in Jamalpur district. At the center of this tale is a married woman named Murshida. Late one night, around 2 to 2:30 a.m., Murshida woke up and stepped outside to use the washroom. Initially, everything seemed calm and ordinary. However, on her way back to the house, something unexplainable happened. A white cat appeared out of nowhere and blocked her path. Startled but determined, Murshida tried to shoo it away. Despite her repeated attempts to send it off, the cat refused to budge. Frustration turned into anger, and in a moment of fury she kicked the cat, which tumbled a few feet away. Relieved, she started walking back towards her house. But barely a few steps in, she suddenly collapsed unconscious in the courtyard without any apparent reason. The surroundings were eerily quiet. There was nothing visible to explain what had happened. Back inside, her husband eventually noticed her absence from bed. Assuming she was still outside for some reason, he waited at first but grew alarmed when she didn't return. Concerned, he stepped out and was shocked to find her lying unconscious at one corner of the yard. He immediately carried her inside and woke up the rest of the household. Despite their best efforts, Murshida remained unresponsive for the rest of the night. It wasn't until dawn that she finally regained consciousness. Weak and visibly shaken, she recounted what had transpired. She explained how she had encountered a strange, paranormal event during her brief trip outside. Her account left the family puzzled and fearful, raising suspicions that some supernatural force might have been at play. In an attempt to help her, a local healer was summoned. The healer performed some rituals with blessed water and oil, but there was no noticeable improvement. In fact, Murshida's condition worsened. Eventually, they sought help from another respected spiritual practitioner known for his expertise in dealing with such matters. After conducting lengthy prayers and rituals to summon the entity responsible for Murshida's state, he finally established communication. The presence identified itself as a Jinn and agreed to leave Murshida alone but only on two conditions. First, a large branch from a nearby jackfruit tree had to be cut down. Second, a bowl of sweets and curd needed to be placed beneath an ancient banyan tree by none other than Murshida herself. Moreover, she was explicitly instructed not to look back while returning home. The family followed the instructions carefully. That night, Murshida gathered the items and placed them under the banyan tree as directed. She mustered all her courage and walked back towards her home without looking behind. From that moment forward, her health improved significantly, almost as though the incident had never occurred. The mystery deepened the following morning when Murshida's cousin decided to visit the banyan tree out of curiosity. To his astonishment, all traces of the offerings, the sweets and curd, had vanished without a single crumb left behind. Stranger still, when he inspected the jackfruit tree from which they had sawed off the branch as per the demand of the Jinn, there was no evidence that a branch had ever been removed. It was as if the large branch had simply disappeared into thin air. No stump, no saw marks, nothing. The entire episode left the family and neighbors mystified and unsettled. To this day they recount the strange series of events as an unexplainable chapter in their lives. One deeply embedded with unanswered questions and haunting memories. After this incident, the village became rife with speculation and curiosity. A widely held belief in the community was that supernatural beings, like Jinn or spirits, often reveal their presence by causing disturbances such as breaking trees or leaves. While many wanted to uncover the truth behind the mysterious event, none could decipher its actual cause. Meanwhile, the family gradually tried to return to everyday life, though the paranormal experience left an indelible mark on everyone's memory. A few days after the incident, Murshida Appa's physical condition stabilized briefly, but soon she began to deteriorate. Her behavior slowly turned erratic, raising concerns within the household. In an attempt to resolve her escalating issues, the family revisited a well-known spiritual healer whom they'd consulted before. This healer had successfully addressed Murshida Appa's troubles in the past through rituals intended to banish spirits. However, this time he refused to help, citing fears for his own family's safety and warning them of possible repercussions. Disheartened by his refusal, the family desperately sought alternatives, eventually turning to Karim Kabraj from a neighboring village called Devanganj. Karim advised patience and made plans to visit their house the following evening. At the appointed time, Karim Kabraj arrived after completing his evening prayers, carrying a few items he needed for his ritual: a winnowing tray, some incense sticks, and candles. With precision he drew 2 circles on the ground, one for Murshida Appa to sit in and the other left empty. Then he initiated a sequence of purification rituals aimed at expelling any malevolent forces. As Murshida Appa sat silently within the circle, an eerie development unfolded. An ominous presence began to manifest, growing increasingly aggressive. The spirit declared emphatically, "Kabraj, you cannot harm me." Undeterred, Karim Kabraj countered firmly, "Let us see who prevails in the end." Following this confrontation, Karim recited prayers over the winnowing tray and struck it rhythmically with a stick. The entity inhabiting Murshida Appa reacted violently, emitting a deafening scream. It finally confessed that Murshida Appa had injured it, prompting its vengeful entry into her body. Before departing, the entity issued a dire threat. Even if it exited her body, Murshida Appa would not survive beyond an hour. This proclamation plunged the family into a state of terror. Still, Karim proceeded undeterred, employing all his expertise to banish the malignant entity. He assured the family that they would not face any further harm from this force. Tragically, his assurances were not enough to save Murshida Appa. Just a short while after regaining consciousness following the ritual, she passed away. The villagers speculated that her demise was an unfortunate consequence of an unknown act, a lapse where she may have unknowingly harmed a creature at night. This seemed to have spurred the chain of events leading to her demise and the appearance of the vengeful spirit. This incident teaches an important lesson. We must exercise caution and refrain from harming any living creature unnecessarily, be it during the day or night. Extra vigilance is especially crucial after dusk, since lore suggests that jinn or spirits are more active then and often take various forms. May Allah protect us all from such dangers and forgive our mistakes. Let us strive to remain mindful of our actions in every aspect of life and avoid inflicting harm on others, whether human or animal. May Allah bestow His boundless blessings upon us and guide us toward righteousness. Additionally, we must give importance to our prayers and consistently practice those supplications that bring goodness into our lives. By placing our trust in Allah, He will surely provide us with protection and guide us along the right path.